for like 15 minutes. All these chairs was empty and everything, and I was like, man, no one wants to come. I was about to leave.
We're all outside.
I know, I heard. Oh my god. Just to let you guys know who I am Jason Sohail Ascari. One of the scenes you saw over there was actually one from something from the new movie Out of the Shadows. How many of you guys actually went to go see that movie? What is your general consensus of that movie? How'd you guys like?
Rocksteady and Bebop.
Kind of average.
Can I get into this if we're gonna start this off?
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Bebop and Rocksteady was great. I love seeing them on the screen.
No Krang.
Frank was there. He was good.
Yeah.
But here's my problem. And this was my beef with the first one, and they really doubled down on it in the second one. You can fit in Gwen Stefani and Pizza Hut and mention all these things. The name Hamato Yoshi is still nowhere to be heard.
Yeah, that was kind of left out.
And it really felt like they were doing what they did with Spider-Man after 2001, where they're like Americanizing the Turtles, and we're gonna have the big Statue of Liberty, like American embracing of the Turtles, but they're completely wiping out the entire cultural history of the Japanese roots.
Right. Well, they obviously didn't fix any of that. I will say, I thought this one was I thought this one was better than the first one.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
I have to say, for me, the movie did do a little improvement, especially the turtles. I felt like they finally gave more time with the turtles in the first one. The problem with the first one is that it focused too much on April and everything.
Yes.
But unfortunately, they didn't improve so much on the humans, especially with April
Casey
and
Jones.
Right. Yes.
That was a wasted opportunity.
For some reason, Back to Summit was the most fun one out of all the human cast.
I actually really agree with you there. So I will say this for the new movie, the mutants. They did excellent job on the mutants. So Bebop and Rocksteady were like perfect. I loved Bebop and Rocksteady. Yeah, exactly. They just did everything right, and obviously with the way we have movies nowadays, like anything's PG-13, even PG, we have to have the sophomore jokes. I'm really glad they gave all that to Bebop and Rocksteady and did not try to force that onto the Turtles like they did in the first movie. But the humans, I will say, Casey.
Horrible.
Yeah, like
Horrible.
I didn't think he was horrible, but it was really really wasted potential. He was.
That's what I think.
Yeah, exactly. It was such like we introduce him, and he's just such this bland character that they could have just put his name as anything else, and there was no Gungula, and I was like, come on!
Anybody could have been him.
Yeah. Anyone could have been him. I mean, I thought Stephen Amell did a pretty good job. I thought, for what he did, and he did kind of, to me, he was still Oliver Queen. I did not see anything past Oliver Queen, but I think he plays Oliver Queen really good. So, some of the things I really did like, and there was a lot of references, and also, because obviously my wife knows this, because she's a big fan. Do you know who's one of the guests that is coming to Dancing with the Stars this season? Vanilla Ice, that's right. So hopefully we will actually get like a ninja rap.
No.
You don't want him to dance a ninja rap. Look, I watch.
On the half shell, they're the heroes for. Not that song. Screw Vanilla Ice.
But Vanilla Ice didn't sing those songs.
And I don't want them there.
It's already there. Look, I'm watching this whole season because I have to. I want something out of this. I had one of the YouTube or whatever. He danced to Ninja. He danced to Ninja Turtles, and that was just awful. So I want something better. But we got references. I mean, we got a Vanilla Ice reference from the movie, which I thought was pretty good. The license plate. Even Kevin Eastman made a cameo. What I actually really appreciate about the new movie was that they actually listened to the fans, and they actually tried to actually make it more fan friendly.
Yes.
And I thought that was like excellent. That is like one step in the right direction because we got movies like Transformers and Alvin and Chipmunks and Smurfs where those movies actually like did good in the box office. They went and made sequels, and they just followed the same formula because they know what sold well. So, oh gosh, you don't need to get sorry. That was like one of the things I did like about this movie was they brought a lot more comedic things in there, and that's actually really cool. Some things, yeah, like so.
The physics
This
were impossible. Raph would have died. He just got rammed by a plane doing like 800.
This is also a movie about 4 turtles that are human sized. I mean, if you're trying to put like logic into this, I mean, it's all out. I mean, don't even try.
I had that moment where it's like, okay, it's feeling suspension of disbelief. Where do you go?
What were you saying? We'll go ahead and we'll actually go ahead and segue into the current cartoon. Who's actually watching the current cartoon? I've actually been looking at. Are you guys like all like caught up and everything? Yeah.
That's okay.
What?
One episode.
1 episode behind. That's fine. That's fine. So
Season and a half.
yeah. So if you guys don't know, in the 4th season, they actually went to space. And it was actually, I thought it was actually pretty cool. I thought the space arc much better than the New Hampshire arc. Like I actually never liked the New Hampshire arc from the original comics either. Yeah, but like something I really appreciate from like the new series is like they bring them into they brought them into like new territories. And like it really made it like when they go back into New York, you kind of miss New York. It's not like you don't feel like bored with it or anything like that. It's kind of like, oh, you know what? It's cool. They're back in New York. I really appreciate the show actually like doing that and everything. I thought that was actually pretty cool. That episode title is actually Transdimensional Turtles. You can actually. I mean, there's several ways to get it, and you can actually like buy it on iTunes or other places like Amazon Video, or you can get it on the latest collection DVD. Actually, does have this episode. The only unfortunate part is that it's only 1 episode. I would have really liked it to be like an hour special, but
Turtles Forever was better.
I did like Turtles Forever, but what was really cool about this one was that they actually did bring out the original voice cast, which was actually really cool. And they actually have President Donatello talk to 1989 Raphael, and they actually have like this hilarious exchange. Was it? Yeah, it's the same voice actor. Yes, they're both Rob Paulson. Does anyone actually have like any questions about like the current series or anything like that? Yeah.
I've noticed that right now, since now that they're back in New York, they're actually going back to where the 2003s with references like with Karai now being sort of the new Shredder.
Right.
And they're sort of making the Shredder like the Super Shredder from Ninja Turtles too.
Yeah. They're totally going in that direction. It's actually kind of cool. Like they, something about this series is like they like love everything. And they try to put like as much references coming. Like we got Wingnut coming. I mean, with our last episode, we actually got Scumbag, which. Like I mean, he looks nothing like the toy, but we did get him. They just love to like just add these, and it's mainly for the fans. I actually really like the new character they introduced, Shimigami.
Yes.
Yes, she is actually really cool.
Yes.
I do like her a lot. I'm gonna go ahead and.
Usagi Yojimbo in this cartoon at all, though, do they?
Was it?
They're not bringing Usagi Yojimbo.
There's nothing confirmed. There are like rumors and everything. They're in talks. So Usagi Yojimbo is still part of Dark Horse, and Nickelodeon owns all of Ninja Turtles. So there's that kind of cross brand and everything. So. We can see it in the comic mid-time pretty soon because they did cross over with DC. Yeah. But But right now, like the cartoons get a little questionable just because of that.
There's a rumor that they actually could introduce those characters into season 5. They said they might introduce that story arc from
Get rid of
2003
Mondo
when they
Gecko.
went into that trans-dimensional tournament.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, trust me, if there are ways, for them to do it, they will do it, and that is true. They can actually do that because Nickelodeon does own the 2003 series, and so they do own all those characters. So it would still be Usagi Yojimbo. It's just 2003 Usagi Yojimbo. So that is like the current one. That's like for the second half of season 4. This technically is not season 5 yet. A lot of people think that. No. And that's pretty much all I have for the current TV show. They didn't really. I didn't go to Comic-Con this year, unfortunately, and but my friends who went, they told me they didn't really reveal too much. All they did was show City at War and the 2 shorts. By the way, if you guys have not checked out Nickelodeon, their YouTube channel and Nickelodeon.com, they have 3 shorts from San Diego Comic-Con. They're really good, and I can and like one of them is actually done by Kevin Eastman, and then one of them is actually done by the person who did Invader Sim. They're and they range from like 3 minutes to 7 minutes. So I do recommend to check them out.
Legendary.
Yes. So, woo! Yes. I wish I created that. I did not. So, if you guys don't know, the way Ninja Turtles actually started was a comic book first, and it was black and white. It was a parody. It wasn't, and it was only supposed to be meant for 1 issue. The first issue they killed off the main character, and they just did not think much of it. Actually, do you guys know which turtle is the first one to be drawn? Michelangelo. Yes. Michelangelo. I actually have my boss. He actually 3D prints. I'm trying to get him to 3D print me a figure of like the original Michelangelo. Like I really want that. And then my wife, and then I'll get my wife to paint it all black and white and everything. It'll be awesome. That's how it went. It wasn't supposed to go any further than that. Then like they went and they sold the first issue, and it sold really good. They had to go and like reprint this thing like at least like 5 times, yes. Then they went and like went ahead and just started keep going, and then around the time like the late 80s, the toy company Playmates, they came up to them and they were like, hey, you know what? We want to make toys of this. So if we were going to sell toys, we're going to make a cartoon show with this too. And the big thing about the cartoon show is like, oh, it's going to be kid friendly, and a lot of people like accused both Eastman and Layard, like, oh, you got sold out. You know what? If I had that decision, I'd be selling out too. It's money. Exactly. If they did not like actually go and like make the cartoon show, we wouldn't be over here. You guys, there would not be an hour wait line out there to come to this panel and everything. I wouldn't be standing up here. So that's the big thing about Ninja Turtles, like how they came. And one of the first things that the toy company actually wanted, they're like, okay, we need a way to tell them apart. And like they're kind of like, hey, they have different weapons. That's how we tell them apart. And they're like, yeah, parents are not gonna go and buy same color turtles, just because the weapons are different. So that's where their headbands came from and everything. And both Layard and Eastman, they kind of sat together and just all decided like
were originally red though.
Yeah, when they made the color comic for the graphic novel, they just put everyone red, which is actually funny. So the original NES game. I love that game, by the way, and I'm currently currently streaming that game. I'm trying to beat it. I beat it once when I was a kid. I'm trying to beat it again. I made it to the 4th level. I'm gonna make it to level 5 soon. It is notoriously hard, but I remember when I was a kid, the cover if you guys don't know, the cover of the game is actually issue number 4 of the comic. Yeah, and like I just remember I remember buying the game when I was a kid and everything. I was kind of like, what? Why is there like 4 Raphaels and he has all the weapons? What is up with this game? And then like I cried because it was hard. But I beat it. When I was 8, I beat it.
That game was hard as hell.
Oh my god, yes. Oh, so funny story about that game is actually, I made it to the final level, level 6, which really hard level. By the way, if you guys never made it to that level. And level 6 is in the Technodrome. Level 5, you go and attack the Technodrome, and the Technodrome is like, so the turtle is like this big, and the Technodrome is like that big. I mean, and then the turtle can fit in there. For some reason, there's this whole like level, like where like you just keep walking. I'm like, what the physics? But like I said, it's for like turtles like are human size. I mean, I can't. All physics, all things is thrown out the door. But I just could not get past the 6th level, so I wrote a letter to Nintendo Power. And I said, old school, yes, this is old school. I said, I cannot get past this level. I need help. They wrote me this letter. I really wish I kept this letter. I mean, oh man, if I could have like framed this letter. They wrote me this letter, and it was this step-by-step guide to get through. They're like, all right, you're gonna go through here, and then then you're gonna fight off this thing. Oh, and then you have the foot soldiers with the jetpacks that look like spacemen. You need those scrolls. Like, do not. I mean, and it was like, I mean, this was like game facts. This is like 10 years before game facts, and I got like game facts like in a physical letter, and that's what got me through the final level. Yes. Oh man, if I can go back in time, I would have kept that. I don't know where that. I know I threw it away because I was an idiot. So that's how the cartoon came around. Cartoon very kid friendly, very goofy, and like every time, like it's actually kind of funny because it gets notoriously whenever they get referenced in like both the 2003 cartoon and the 2012, like how like goofy they are and everything, and like how just some of the things they do, like some of the things about the cartoon, like some people don't realize is that there eventually got to a point where there was a censorship with the cartoon, because so in the UK. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, a lot of people don't remember this, but those early cartoons were like G.I. Joe and Ninja Turtles, like the first 2 seasons, they were still kiddie, but they were kind of hard. Like, you watch it, like, yeah, sit down, homeboy, and all that. And then, second season, it's like, all right, here comes Looney Tunes. Like,
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Yes, you're completely right about that. So like, in the UK, they could not be Ninjas. They had to be heroes. They were Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles. Yeah, and then poor Michelangelo. They can't spell his name right. They can't pronounce his name right. I mean, the artist right there, his name is Michelangelo, and like no one knows about that name. No, they know Michelangelo. But yeah, Michelangelo, he had to lose his nunchucks because. Nunchucks were deemed too dangerous, and a lot of people ask me, it's like, oh, but there's swords and there's size, and those are pointy and everything. Nunchucks is the only weapon that like kids, when they try to imitate, that can hurt them. And by the way, when Eastman and Layard, they did like this, they did the turtles and everything. There was no research. They just kind of like, they're like, hey, this is a ninja weapon. It looks cool. Oh, we're gonna give him. This is like katana. It's not really katana. It's impossible to actually like fight people with 2 nunchucks. People use 2 nunchucks to actually do like shows and that kind of stuff, but yeah, the actual fighting, no, you can't do it. I mean, it is like I actually. So like when I was like in college, I decided to like take karate and everything, and like I got to learn weapons. I chose 4 weapons. I chose the sai. I chose the boken because they don't give us katanas. And I also chose the bow staff, and then I chose the nunchaku. And the nunchaku just kind of really threw like me out of a loop. I was like, really? Whoa! And like it is really hard to control. That was like my least favorite weapon out of, which is kind of funny because like I actually love the way like Michelangelo used it in the cartoons and the movies, and yeah, it's very hard to control. It'd be like whatever ninja status Michelangelo's at, that's like impossible. But yeah, so come back to cartoon again. But yeah, we got so Michelangelo he had to lose his nunchucks and he had to get the grappling hook, and which eventually when it got to CBS, like it just they just completely dropped the nunchucks from the CBS airings, and they just gave him the nunchuck and the grappling hook, and like not a lot of people noticed. It's kind of funny how that, like, I remember as a kid I kind of noticed. I was kind of like, wait a minute, my turtle toys they have the nunchucks, but Michelangelo has this grappling hook. But yeah, that's what happened there, and then I'm gonna actually see who knows this. And in Ninja Turtles Next Mutation, what was Michelangelo's weapon? Tonfas, yes. Okay, wow. The toy was actually nunchucks. And they did this thing with the toy where you can put the nunchucks inside the tonfa, inside each other to make it a tonfa. But like in Next Mutation, they did not give him nunchucks for the same reason, but only like 5 people in the world watched that show, and nobody cared.
I've been seeing him with the 3-point nunchuck lately.
Oh yes, yeah. They added that for the 2012 cartoon.
Sorry about my thing.
Yeah. So the 2012 cartoon, like, it was kind of weird because people were kind of like, they're all. It was almost up in arms for a minute, like, where they're like, Michelangelo has a bladed weapon, Donatello has a bladed weapon. They just want to give everyone a bladed weapon. But then we actually saw like what actually happened. And like it's just kind of like but I mean they still have like their actual weapons. They just decided we're just gonna we're just gonna update it. It's just something.
You see them with something different every time, though.
Yeah, exactly.
So like for instance, Mike. So like Mike, they'll have the 3-point, but then
I didn't talk about the foot enough.
They'll also have commas.
Yes.
So he'll have commas.
Yes.
Or Donnie, he'll do something similar too. His staff will break down.
Yeah.
So there's a couple things that I see them trying to do with their weapons to make them do a little bit more.
Right. I want to actually go back to both Transdimensional Turtles and Turtles Forever for a minute. Especially Transdimensional Turtles. Donatello did not break his bow and said that was my favorite bow. And that really made me sad. And the reason why it really pointed me out in Transdimensional Turtles, because Leonardo broke his swords. And I was like, really? You're going to break someone's weapon? It's not going to be Donatello? We can't get that classic line? And yeah. But yeah, that's just going there. And then, but yeah, and unfortunately, the 80s cartoon, or 80s/90s cartoon. If you guys didn't know, that was actually the longest running cartoon at the time. Then Simpsons, Simpsons beat it. Yeah. Like I want to say 2 or 3 years later, like Simpsons. And then of course I don't think anyone will read. I don't think anyone will reach the Simpsons. But yeah, like Ninja Turtles was it was 10 years. No cartoon in that history ever made it to 10 seasons, and it was like one of the incredible feats that Ninja Turtles did. Unfortunately, the last season, the last 3 seasons, I'm sorry, they're trying to compete with their competitor, They're trying to compete. They're trying to like, oh, we gotta make it more serious. X-Men's out. Got this new thing called Power Rangers. That thing's like clobbering us right now. Oh, like so like they're trying to make it all serious and like they turned Sky Red. Yeah.
But see, the thing is too is that what I noticed the most about that the early shows for them was Bebop and Rocksteady got more popular.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And people start liking them more than the Turtles.
Right.
So then now, like, okay, how does this show progress when the main characters are not even as popular as the villains?
Right. Yes, you say.
One of the issues, I think it was from when it was on the last season, was that they didn't make Shredder the main villain. Usually,
Yeah, they took it up.
yeah, in the early seasons, of course, Shredder was always going to be the main one. But by the time they get to the last one, instead they dropped him off and they replaced him with the Lord.
Lord Drake.
Yes, which they used again for the 2012 film.
Right. Lord Drake. There was a similar villain that came out like that year, that was from another very popular TV show. They found out what happened was they found out that Power Rangers was replacing Rita Repulsa, with Lord Zed, and they're like, you know what, we can do it too! Lord Drake! Bye-bye, Shredder! and then they're like, oh, no one likes this, so we're gonna bring Shredder and Krang back for like 3 episodes, and like, yeah, and that wasn't enough. Then they kind of, they saw the writing on the wall. They were like, okay, we gotta end this. This is over now. But yeah, that's why that happened, and like, and the first episode of that whatever reboot or whatever you want to call it, like the ship change, like the first thing Shredder does is like, he crosses his arm, he was like, I don't bluff, and like, he blows up the Channel 6 building. He was like, oh my gosh, now, like, instead of this goofy villain, now we got this really like serious guy. He just came out of nowhere, not voiced by Uncle Phil anymore. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so like the last 2 seasons, they changed a lot of voice actors. Like Rob Paulson was gone, so was James Avery, and I forget who replaced James Avery. I know it wasn't Dorian. It was someone else. But yeah, they were really trying their hardest. They got rid of. They used to have. I don't know if you guys know this or not. When they came into CBS, they used to have this segment called Turtle Tips. And Turtle Tips, what it was like, oh, we're gonna teach the kids how to be like environment friendly, like, or like, what to do about strangers, or like just they're like trying to add the G.I. Joe. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that also got dropped. And which was funny because like some CBS affiliates was still like airing that, so you had like the Turtles with like the white headbands, and everything, and then like you got to the old like turtle clips where like they're all cute and fuzzy and everything. I was like, holy crap! Like we miss these guys. We're like, we don't want the hard edge people. So actually, speaking of Bebop and Rocksteady, this year is actually the 25th anniversary of the second Ninja Turtles movie, The Secret of the Ooze. They actually wanted Bebop and Rocksteady in the movie. They like, yeah, they're very popular. So,
You got a t-shirt on.
what? I got a t-shirt. You know what's awesome about my t-shirt? Look at the back! I'm on pain medications. I can do whatever I want!
Where'd you get that shirt?
I got it from Walmart, actually. Walmart, yeah, that is my secret. Here you go, guys. I got it from Walmart, $5.
Recently or a while ago?
No, this was like 2 days ago. Oh man, and like a lot of people are leaving because they're like, man, this guy just won't shut up. But so work on Friday. Like they're like, oh, we need you guys can wear college t-shirts and everything, like, support your teams and everything. And I said, what if my favorite team is the Ninja Turtles? And my boss, who's the CEO of the company, said, I don't expect anything less. So I went to Walmart that day and bought a Ninja Turtles jersey. And right next to it was this T-shirt. So going back into the second movie, they wanted Bebop Rocksteady, and unfortunately we got like Toko and Razar. And the reason why we couldn't get actually Bebop and Rocksteady was because Fred Wolf owned at that time the rights to any character that they created. So Fred Wolf would not let them because like the movie license, like for New Line Cinema at the time, they were able to do anything from the Mirage comics, so anything that they created, and then of course they can create their own characters as well. But anything that came from the cartoon series that was created, and that was owned by Fred Wolf, and that was they're in his company, and so basically that was only allowed in the cartoon show and in the toys, and like the movie could not do it. And in fact, Utroms were supposed to be in the Secret of Zeus. Professor Perry, at the end, was supposed to open up his shirt and all, and like it's supposed to be this reveal that he was an Utrom this whole time. So what happened there was like one of two things. We got like one was money. I mean, there's only so much money to make it like to make it like look real, especially with Jim Henson Productions and everything. They didn't want to make it too Muppet. And everything. The other thing was they were so afraid that kids would confuse that character with Crank. So it just got cut out completely. And in fact, if you watch the Secret of Zeus, you'll actually there's actually a scene where they're in the computer lab. If you look in the middle, there's like this thing that has like tubes coming out of it. Just look really closely. That is like pretty much the concept design of like what the Utroms were supposed to look like. I mean, and it was just something that when they filmed it, they had like, you know, planes with that over there, and it just didn't come in fruition. All right, so funny thing was when I was a kid, I actually liked this one better than the first one.
Smack.
I know. Well, wait. When I got older, and after I started reading the comics and everything, I was like, you know, this movie was kind of crap. I still enjoy it. It brings me back like memories. I remember I forced like my parents to take me to it like 3 times because I was like, oh man, I had to go see it like a bunch of times. But like, yeah, it like the first movie holds up. This one, not so much. Was it? It's number 3 now. No, we don't talk about those dark times. We don't talk about those dark times.
It's better than number 2.
Did you say 3 was better than number 2?
I'm biased because I actually worked for the puppeteer that operated Master Splinter in the 3rd one.
Oh, okay. But, I'll give you that. All right.
And it didn't have Vanilla Ice, and it wasn't quite as cheesy. And I'm not saying it was good. I would still put it like below the Michael Bay films.
Yeah.
But it was better than number 2.
Right. But yeah, and like basically why number 2 came out the way it did was parents really did not like the first movie, and because the first movie was way too violent, it was way too dark.
It was way too awesome.
Yeah, I know. Of course, it was way too awesome. You know, I did not. This is like my honest truth. I did not learn what curse words were until the first movie, and I came in. Raphael is still like my least favorite turtle, exactly, because Raphael's my least favorite turtle because I never heard this word before. I never heard that word before, and like, you know, my mom was like, you need to go clean your room, and I was like, what? No, I don't want to clean my room. Damn! So what'd you say? Where'd you learn that word? Raphael? He said it and it sounds so cool. Get you a rope. Oh my god. And like I got in trouble like she didn't make me eat soap or anything like that, but like, and like, I was like, oh, why can I not say that word? What's wrong with that word? Raphael said it, and it sounded awesome. But I never learned cursing until that movie. But yeah, like they had to just tone it down. The cursing was gone. I mean, the word God was even like taken out of the movie. Like he said God. I love being a turtle.
And they didn't use their weapons. They carried their weapons, but they didn't even.
They didn't use. Yeah, exactly. They did not use the weapons. And when I was a kid, I didn't even notice that because Michelangelo used the sausage links. And I'll be honest, Michelangelo used the sausage links, and I saw Donatello mopping the floor with his bow, and it just did not cross my mind. Like kind of like the grappling hook, just did not cross my mind that was taken out. 2003 cartoon had 2 really awesome seasons.
Yes.
It had the first 2 seasons were incredible,
Gold.
and then
Parents
they
congratulations.
they ran out of Mirage issues because there was only 62 issues, so they're running out of things to do so they had to go and start doing their own stories. And Playmates kind of came in. They're like, "Hey guys, we designed all these turtles. Look, we designed turtles that ride on scooters, and they have these special clothes. Can you put these action figures in the show for us so we can sell them because they're sitting on shelves right now?" So just the combination of both. I will say season 3 brought us the greatest character from the 2003 series, and that is Bishop. I love Bishop. But everything else, unfortunately, they just ran out of things, and that's what we're seeing with that's what we're seeing. What 2012 is doing right is season 3 they started in New Hampshire, just kind of okay, you know what, we're gonna just put them here, bring them back to New York. We still have some Mirage things to do, and then same thing with season 4. All right. You know what? Half a season, we put them in space. We create these new episodes. We still have some really cool characters we can use and reimagine, and some things for Mona Lisa exactly. The fans can use, and then when we bring them, we'll just right now they're brought back to New York, and they're doing they have more story arcs. What I don't like. I think we still have some legs on 2012 just because they're making sure they don't fall in that 2003 trap.
They're not bringing Bishop into the 2012 though.
They already brought him. They already did. It's actually really cool. He's nowhere near as cool as 2003. I'll say that, but
I don't know. There's a cool factor to him.
there is a cool factor though. There is a really cool factor, and I really.
Put the shades
Yeah.
on.
Oh gosh. No. That episode where he fought off the. Oh man, I actually really like that one.
That's what I'm saying. He was kind of badass. In that.
Yeah, he really was, and I actually and the way they kind of explain them, and then they had the other chess pieces, that was awesome too.
Yeah.
And it's kind of we kind of get a why the Krang are the Krang. Yeah.
I just wanted to ask you your favorite Ninja Turtle was.
My man, everyone else was wanting to ask you this. I mean, I do have a favorite, but it's still it's for me. It's always hard to choose, and it always changes. It always varies time to time. But Leonardo always sticks as my favorite, only because I'm an older brother and he is the leader, and so he's kind of like the older brother. Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, some things say he's oldest, some of them they're all the same age. But he definitely everything he acts like the oldest brother. So, and that's what I can relate to him the most.